What the hell is this? You said you wouldn't change the music.
The amount of people that were coming after me telling me that I was going to change the music, you know what? If I'm going to be accused, I'm going to do it anyway.
We gotta fix this. I gotta bring in Stockhammer.
I remember you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, I remember you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt.
Welcome everybody to episode 130 of The China Show.
Yes.
Please don't change the music again.
You did it. You did it. You have all the control over these video toaster buttons.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we have a really jam-packed show for you today. We have a lot to talk about. Some incredible developments in China. Our main segment is about this crazy protest that happened in China and the significance of it, why it's happening, and what exactly happened. We'll get into that in the main segment of the show. But we have to start out, of course, with what's new. So let's saunter right into that. And this is where we talk about what's new, specifically with regards to China. So what is new right now? I'm asking you.
I'm working on our show.
Yeah, okay. There's one very important clip that we still have to add to the media pack, which we thought was in there, and it isn't, so Seamilk's working on that. I'll explain what's going on in the background here. Now, imagine this, if you will. And, of course, I hate to start the show with more COVID nonsense, but please bear with me. But just imagine this. You were rounded up and taken to a quarantine camp because, well, somebody in your building tested positive. Now, if you make it to the quarantine camp and don't get involved in a bus accident on the way or whatever, you can expect that while you're locked away doing your mandatory quarantine, that your apartment will be disinfected. Okay? And what they do is they send around these health workers, and what they do is they spray disinfectant all over your clothing and all over everything. But not only that, in certain cases like what you're seeing here, I'll just play it in the background. They just throw your stuff away.
I love the soundtrack.
Yeah.
The soundtrack. What is it supposed to be?
It's the guy filming it, just being an ass. This is in Shanghai. And yeah, so everyone's stuff's just being thrown away. Great, isn't it? Would you like that to happen to your personal property?
Oh, I love it. I feel like some people just would love that. Some people are into that, you know?
Yeah, I kind of like this guy going on.
Be Sarah.
Oh, yeah, okay. So,
We teased this last time, didn't we?
apparently Huawei, do we all know Huawei? Huawei is the Chinese technology company which has been kind of at the cusp of spying on other nations through technological equipment and all sorts of shady underdealings. And the fact that the entire company was built on theft, IP theft and so on. There's a lot about Huawei that there isn't to like.
Yeah.
One thing you can't blame Huawei for is not being, well, inventive when it comes to scamming. Okay. Because one of the shills actually who works heavily for Huawei went to a Huawei convention in Thailand to show off Huawei's latest invention, Huawei's AI. Now, we all know China's big into AI, right? So now you expect to see something fairly advanced because of all the talk, all the smack talk. So let's just take a look at Huawei's AI first, shall we?
Sure.
Ready? Okay, let's get us out of there. Here it comes.
Be Sarah, and this is really the future of what's to come. And so I'm just going to give you a bit of a demonstration. Hi Sarah, how old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
You're 26 years old, that's it, you look younger.
Yes, younger and beautiful. Yes, younger and beautiful.
What do you do at Huawei? What's your job?
I am AI, Sarah AI.
Bye-bye for now. You love me? Wow, I found a new girlfriend, huh?
All right, hold on. Go back to the first. I want to go back to the beginning of that.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the chat real quick. Everyone's laughing at the fact that, in fact, this AI is just fake and it's a person.
It's just a booth
being
babe
modeled,
sitting
yeah.
behind there with a microphone.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of gag probably would have worked in the 80s, maybe?
Yeah.
Probably 80s, early 90s.
Well, I don't know, because in the 80s you had voice synthesis on computers and stuff,
Yeah.
so it was actually pretty easy to actually make computer voices.
What I
Yeah.
want to say is, that aside, let's just put that aside. Let's say, okay, we understand this is a fake AI. They're trying to scam everybody. It's ridiculous. This is the typical nature of Huawei.
Sure.
This is kind of what they're based on. I'm more concerned about what the first question that was asked by the shill.
Yes. Yeah.
Who starts a conversation with? Let me just play.
Hey, Sarah, and this is really the future of what's to come. And so I'm just going to give you a bit of a demonstration. Hi, Sarah, how old are you?
Is that how you greet someone?
Yeah.
Hi, how old are you?
I think, okay, everybody, by the way, if anyone's doubting this, this is just fake. There's somebody with a microphone listening, and we'll explain to you why. First of
I'm
all,
26 years old.
You're 20.
you look younger.
if you were going to ask an AI how old it was, and this is the new cutting edge technology,
Yeah.
it would say a few months or a year or 10, like 5 years old or 3 years old.
They didn't train the
No, the
scam
person,
very well.
the woman who's actually holding the microphone is 26 years old. So she's just answering in her English. Also, it would not have a very bad Thai English accent. And the fact
Yeah.
that they're in Thailand means that their actress is a Thai person who speaks English that they managed to find there.
Yeah, yeah,
It would not be, their English AI would have a very standard English accent.
probably.
Anyway.
26 years old.
Anyway,
If anyone's ever played with any of these apps, when you get a new toy, like even on a, what did you call that? Xbox Connect, or
that
a
kind of
PlayStation iToy, or even your iPhone these days, it's got all this stuff where you can look at it and it mimics your face. That's what this is. They've got a camera looking at a girl behind the scenes there answering his questions. But you know what? We actually got to, because of this video, we decided we'd reach out to Apple. And Apple
they're
actually,
so generous.
they invited you out to go
Yeah.
meet the Apple AI. So
That's it,
we
you
thought
look
we'd show you.
younger.
Yes, younger and beautiful. Yes, younger and beautiful.
What do you do at Huawei? What's your job?
I am AI. Sarah AI.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye, I love you.
You love me? Wow, I found a new girlfriend, huh?
So anyway, Similk went down,
Take care, bye-bye.
flew down to Cupertino and went to the new Apple AI event. Let's see. Here it comes, eventually.
So I'm super excited to be here with the new Apple AI. I want to ask you a couple questions. Apple AI, how you doing? How old are you?
I am 25 years old.
Wow, that's great.
I am the new AI and I love you.
Oh, you love me? Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so flattered.
You know what's crazy about that?
What?
When I was there, it was really rushed because I had to get in and out. And
burger,
get back
right?
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to get because I missed it so much.
Sure.
Anyway, when I got back home, I was looking over at the footage
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, it's pretty incredible what they managed to come up with.
Yeah.
But it was a bit strange to me that they used a South African as the AI voice.
Yeah, it's
It was,
interesting.
it was a
that.
bit strange, kind of like how they used a Thai person for the Huawei voice.
Yes, I know.
Bit out of character.
It's ridiculous, but that's just proof of concept. Because look, obviously we threw that together, and it took us 3 minutes using an iPhone with that stupid emoji thing where you can send a message with an emoji.
Yes.
And it monitors your facial features, and you can choose a
was-
turd, or you could, what is that?
Someone said, Nemo said, that's fake. The animation was too good.
Yeah, exactly.
compared to the Huawei
Yeah, the
one.
Huawei one is really bad. It was like they're using an Xbox Connect or something from back in the day.
Oh, yeah, we should have sniffed the finger. To
Oh
heart.
yeah, exactly.
That
Should have
would've
done
been
that.
great, yeah.
Anyway, it's nonsense. And again, Huawei's just faking it till you make it. They think they can impress the world by, oh look, this is our AI. You haven't developed shit. You're using technology that exists
We developed
already.
shit with the shit emoji.
Yeah, we use the shit emoji just to prove that this is nonsense. Anyway,
That was fake.
moving on to Japan for a second here.
Yes.
And something happened in Japan last week, which we're just going to show you in the background here, which is not making Japanese people very happy. I'll tell you that much. So let's take a look. What happened there exactly?
YouTube.
Yeah, don't worry. We didn't
Stop.
show
I'm
it.
gonna
Yeah.
slap your butt. I'm going to spank you, YouTube, if you hit us with some sort of community guideline strike because of that.
Yeah.
Because we cut it out before any punches were thrown.
Yeah.
Only hot pots were thrown.
Yeah, exactly.
No
So
one got hurt in that clip.
yeah, not in this clip. Usual type thing. You've got a ruffian thug dudes hitting women over the head with bowls and
Oh,
whatever.
it's a soup fight.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. But, it happened in Japan, and so obviously it's spreading around saying, like, what's this uncivilized nonsense?
Yeah.
This isn't China, that type of thing. Because you see these kind of clips coming out of China all the
I
time.
mean, you just see it in real life.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah, I know, yeah.
like the whole thugs beating up the
Yeah.
women at a barbecue restaurant.
Sure.
So it's kind of normal. So, yeah, obviously chaos ensued, and so it made its rounds. Anyway, so that's what was happening in Japan. Now, let's talk a little bit about the whole Elon Musk thing. Now, first of all, before we talk about Elon Musk, we understand that there are a lot of people who are big fans of Elon Musk, and there's many things Elon Musk has done that are worthy of praise. And I myself really think that a lot of the things he's done are fantastic. But of course, it doesn't excuse a person's bad behavior just because they've done a couple of good things or done a lot of good things even. You still have to point out when they make mistakes,
Yeah.
right? And Elon Musk has made some terrible mistakes when it comes to China and Taiwan recently.
Really playing it safe with the Elon Musk thing here.
No, I'm
You're doing
just
good. You're being very diplomatic.
playing devil's advocate here,
Yeah.
so to speak. If he was the devil and I'm his advocate.
So
So,
you're not.
what do you mean? I am.
You are not his advocate.
No, I'm not. But I'm playing devil's advocate.
You're playing.
Yes. That's when you're not doing something truthfully. Anyway, let's continue, shall we?
I made a video about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the description right now, and it's interesting, but I won't get into it. But the whole video is about how Elon Musk decided that he would chime in on how to solve the whole Taiwan issue. And to make a long story short, he basically said that Taiwan should rejoin mainland China, should join China, but they should be given like a high degree of autonomy. And China ran with it. They're like, yes, that's exactly what we want.
They put his statements in state
Yeah.
media. It was all over the news. It was all
Right.
praised. And
They
all
loved
that.
it. And then everyone's like, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean, like Hong Kong? The territory that they just steamrolled and basically stifled and turned into a police state.
Well, explain to everybody what happened 3 days later.
So right after that, China removed the tax burden of Elon Musk for his production of Teslas in China.
Yeah, for the sales tax on
Yeah.
certain Tesla models are exempt from tax now.
What
Yeah.
a joke.
So
It's quite obvious.
it's that whole like you scratch our back,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
we'll scratch yours type thing. And that's exactly what's been going on here. Elon Musk, helping out the Communist Party, they help him out, and it's very, very obvious and plain to see what's happening here. And this is unfortunate, whether it was agreed upon beforehand or not. There is a very well-known agreement that's an unspoken agreement, and that is if you praise the Communist Party of China, then you will do well in China. And if you criticize the Communist Party of China, or go against it, then you will not do well in China. So people, businessmen, investors, the people that have got fingers in pies in China will always side with the Chinese Communist Party simply because they know that if they don't, they'll lose out. And if they really suck the G bar of the CCP, and they do a good job about it, like Elon Musk does, then they know they're going to get rewards or potentially get great rewards.
It's like first the Ukraine-Russia issue and now China and Taiwan issue.
Yeah.
Elon Musk reining in with his
Well,
expertise.
There are certain things I think that billionaires and celebrities and so on, they should not be weighing in on certain topics. Like stick in your
power-hungry
wheelhouse.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a tech guy making tech and inventions and trying to change the world that way, do it. But don't try to get involved in stuff that's not really your business, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's my opinion anyway.
I just like this. It says,
Yeah.
due to Elon's comments on Taiwan having a Taiwanese family, I cannot support him. and thus have to buy a different product. There's people that were getting refunds on their deposits for Cybertruck and other
various
Tesla
other
products.
things. Yeah. Oh well, it's the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah, we got a little cute thing about Clamman here on our subreddit. Clamman shooing pets, and AI generated a bunch of stuff.
I would not call that cute.
Well,
it's just dirt. If you look closely at this bizarre faceless clam man.
yeah,
I mean, like that he's shooting pets though. It's
you'll know
noble
Clamman. Yeah, exactly, and he likes to. So,
I mean, we don't know. I mean, let's not put words in his mouth. We don't know if he likes it.
but that's what he does.
He does do that.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
his
kind of
job.
a fun little thing.
Yeah.
Excellent. Why did you put this picture of the ant's face magnified?
I actually
in there?
did. Hold on. Yeah. I did that by accident.
Okay.
But while it's up there, it's because the next picture in here was in my picture folder.
I see.
I'm glad there wasn't like pictures of your furry costume in there. Otherwise,
I
it would have
don't
been bad.
have
Anyway,
such a
so
thing.
hey, but go back. I want
Okay.
to talk about the ant thing.
Okay, what do you want to say
Sarah
about
looks
that
so
thing?
cool.
Okay.
This is a high-powered microscope,
Uh-huh.
and that's a face of an ant. Tell me that doesn't look like pure evil.
I don't feel bad about stepping on ants anymore. I'll tell you that much.
No. Like,
You know?
just if you look at that, you imagine millions of those things everywhere.
Yeah.
Billions of those things everywhere. And they have those colonies underground and stuff. Dude, they're definitely plotting something
Yeah.
for sure.
If you ever played Gears of War, you'll know. Anyway, the original milk dog.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw this in there. Shout out to Romulus and Remus, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Really old friends of the show from a philosophical standpoint.
Correct.
What you can see here is just something that I don't want you guys to think is out of the ordinary. It started way back in the day.
Yeah, it's been around forever. Milk
Suckling
dogs.
Milk dogs suckling on the teats of the dogs.
Yeah,
to get the
exactly.
dog milk out.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the OG milk dog
Yeah.
before all the ones we found in China and so on.
Yes.
What is this that you've got up here? Zhang Meifeng, the Chinese government official who's blocked me.
I just love her attempt at political satire. So what it says hashtag open comment. Mm-hmm. What?
They
Is
just
that
love
a
hashtags,
hashtag right
yeah.
now? No one can be sure who cracked the Nord Stream pipeline. So remember the Nord Stream pipeline with
Yes.
the gas pipeline exploded and leaked, right?
Sure.
Until a probe is carried out. But everyone knows who will suffer a cold winter, and everyone knows which ally is to blame for that. So the attempt here is you want to say like no one knows who did it, right? Like
Yeah.
no one knows who did it, but we know like what the consequences are. But what she did was say no one knows who did it, but we know who did it.
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
So, yeah.
And then it just makes it obvious right there with the eagle flying over.
Yeah, it's an eagle, blowing up the pipeline. Yeah, anyway.
No one knows for sure.
They've been jumping on that a lot. I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of people trying to throw the blame on the USA for that one. And,
You know what she shouldn't do is talk something. What is it again?
Oh, she shouldn't.
Don't talk twice.
Yeah.
That's a shame, by the way, because I actually have a crepe here.
Yes, you have a crepe that you're
I
going
do, a
to.
chocolate-filled
Okay,
crepe.
excellent. So before we hit our main segment, what we need to do is answer a couple of super chats. Now, this
Let's
is
do
a
it.
super important segment, so stick around if you're thinking of doing something else. Don't.
It's probably a segment people don't leave for.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's where peak
Yeah.
viewership.
That's where everybody has to be because this one is super important.
Power Shift says the CCP Party Congress seems a little more than a rubber stamp committee for an ignorant little dictator. And like most dictators, that usually ends with the people dragging him through the capital city.
Nah.
I have a lot to say about that.
You'll see in the main segment. We've got quite a lot to say about what's going on.
Unmatched perspicacity. Good morning from 4:35 a.m. here in Singapore. Wow, you're very dedicated to get up that early. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Probably stayed up all night, to be honest. That's what I'd do.
Pulling an all-nighter. Yeah. Doc Slothington. Old man Doc says, reporting live from Costco. Pineapple inversion trial number 2 is coming to a close. Maybe it's the walker? I like that you're
Probably.
carrying a journal and then super chatting that journal. Doc is, in fact, about 300 years old, so he's trying to do the whole pick up people at Costco trick.
Absolutely.
The walker is probably the least of his worries, to be honest.
I'd say.
I think it's the rotting flesh.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
General Secretary Xi says, peeps, don't forget to smash that like button. Do kids still say that?
I don't know. They should stop if they do, though.
Yeah, I don't think they do that anymore. Land and water. China's waking up. Hopefully they figure out that the wind comes from feeding The honey dragon some honey.
Okay.
David Lopan, thank you very much. Okay, cool.
Right, let's hit it.
Oh, Mandate of Heaven incoming from Armin Coleman.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's happened a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Time for Soft Power Hour, everybody. This is where we talk about how the Chinese government is changing your mind and trying to change your mind and the mind of others through the internet and media and propaganda, basically. Now, today, we're going to be sharing something with you that's incredibly important, and that is this protest. So we're going to show you a clip. I want you to listen to what's being said in the background, okay? We'll translate it for you. So let's get us out of here quickly and listen carefully and look at what's happening on the screen.
这桥上是
Okay,
有
so
个是横的吗？
hang on. Let's take it back there. What is being said over here? First of all, for those of you at home, in the footage that you can see here, there's a tire that was set on fire and a couple of other items which have just been extinguished by the fire department. And there's a loudspeaker, a bullhorn on repeat, and it's saying a couple of words. Let's listen. And somebody's being arrested and put into a police car. And as you'll see in a minute, the banners were hung over the bridge over there. We'll explain to you where this happened and why it's so important. Let's get the actual banners up there. And what the loudspeaker is saying is exactly what is written on these handwritten banners that were unfurled and hung over this very big overpass in Beijing. All right, so let's get back to it. We'll listen to it one more time and we'll tell you exactly what's being said there. All right, so here we go. So what's being said over here?
It says 要吃饭，要自由，要选票，罢工罢课罢免独裁国贼习近平 which
basically means I want to eat, I want to be free, I want to be able to vote, to strike, and well, we should strike to remove the dictator Xi Jinping. So if we take a look over here, we'll show you the actual signs again. We've got translations up on the screen, will come up now.
20大天堵啊！
But you have to understand, the timing of this is very important. So the guy set up this burning stuff, tire and whatnot, on the overpass there, unfurled these banners, and this happened 2 days before the big, what is it, the 22nd Party?
20th, yeah.
20th Party Congress. I always get confused.
Because it's 2022.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, the 20th Party Congress, which is this massive thing, which C-Milk will explain to you exactly what it's all about in a minute. But how this all happened was very quick. He unfurled the stuff, set the stuff on fire. Lots of people took photos of this. Lots of people took video clips of this because it's on the third ring road of Beijing. If you understand Beijing, in fact, I'll show you exactly where it is. Let me bring up the little map over here. What you're seeing now, I'll get us out of the screen, is Tiananmen Square. Everybody knows Tiananmen, which is where the Beijing Tiananmen massacre happened in 1989. It's right here. And that is right in front of the Forbidden City. You've got all the government offices are there. It's got Mao Zedong's mausoleum over there, all that kind of stuff. So if we zoom out just a little bit here, you can see this is where it happened, okay? On this bridge, the Sitong Bridge, Sitong Qiao. And the funny thing is, if you actually go to the pictures right now on Google Maps, like there are photos. Look, it's actually got photos of those banners in Google Maps. Mm-hmm. If you want to find photos about it, which I thought was kind of hilarious and cool that they've done this. But you see, the whole point is it's close to the government. It's close, and it's a few days away from this massively important meeting. And for this to happen is unprecedented because security is so tight right now. You would not expect anyone to be able to get away with something of this magnitude. No. Of course, you can see if you look here, we actually have over here in the top corner, you can see him being arrested. The guy who put out the banners, he's wearing like a hard hat, like construction worker clothes. And I guess he did that to try and get away with it, because like if he's doing something there on the side of the overpass, people be like, oh, he's probably doing some construction or road work. Yeah. So he got to unfurl the banners, but then he did obviously get arrested. There were rumors that he self-immolated, but that's not true. He was just burning tires and other stuff.
And there's a reason for that. You would have to burn tires to get attention.
Yeah.
Actually, a buddy is Christopher Rehag.
Yeah.
He put a thing on Twitter. He said they'd have to burn tires to get attention because Chinese people are so averse to looking at political banners.
Sure.
Like you just turn it up. You know how it is, right?
Yeah,
Everything that looks like a political banner in China is just ignored.
Yeah.
Because people are like, whatever, you see that all the time, right? So this kind of just looks like another
There's
banner.
also overstimulation in China.
It's overstimulation.
You've got adverts and stuff popping up everywhere, and there's noise, and there's all this stuff happening all the time.
But if you see a tire fire in the middle of Beijing in the Third Ring Road, you're going to look, right?
Yeah,
so you're
will.
probably going to read, what's going on. Cops show up and whatnot. The significance of this is huge. I was just reading in the chat. It's pretty funny that people think that prayers and hopes and wishes that he's fine. I think you guys know what happened to this guy. Like, I don't want to jump the gun here, but I'm just gonna tell you guys, this guy's either not gonna be alive or never gonna be seen again for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And his family will suffer for this too.
Yeah.
Don't think that you just get a slap on the wrist and then they're like, oh, after your 10 days in jail, you're
especially
gonna go
since
home.
he put the God Holy Emperor Xi Jinping's name on one of his banners.
It's all over.
He said, like, get rid of Xi Jinping. You say that, they're going to get rid of you.
Yes.
Here's why this is so important, though, and this is why we need to talk about this, and this can't just be another one of those news cycle things where it's like, oh, there was this protest by... For the longest time, the Chinese government has relied on people saying that the Chinese people support the Communist Party of China.
Yeah.
You see tankies say it, you see shills say it, you see the Chinese Communist Party itself keeps saying that 99% or 90% of Chinese people love the government and agree with the government, and they have blood ties to the CCP, and it's kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
But when something like this happens, it's 100% irrefutable proof that it's not true that all Chinese people are just happy to go along with whatever the government says.
You know what the first thing that was trending on Weibo was hero.
Yeah.
Brave. Do you know how many people came out to say that this person was a brave hero?
Yeah.
That goes a little bit against the narrative, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
This is not an outlier.
Everybody is sick and tired of these constant nucleic acid tests, these PCR tests that they have to do for COVID. Everyone's sick and tired of not being able to travel. You can't even travel out of your city. I mean, think about it right now. If you're in Beijing and you just want to go to a trip to the countryside or you want to go to a tourist destination, you can't.
No.
If you try to go there, you have to quarantine for X amount of days in a hotel and pay a stupid amount of money for that. You have to have so many tests before you can even take a plane or a train or whatever. Everything is so restrictive right now. People can't travel. People are struggling with work. People are struggling with life in general. It's really a terrible situation, and a lot of people feel the same way that this guy does.
Everyone's putting up their hands in the chat for Bannerman. Bannerman is the new tank man, for sure. Yeah. I mean, is crazy as that is, because be like, oh, well, he was standing in front of a tank. This is the same thing. This guy's going to die.
Yeah.
So it's still a sacrifice.
Yeah, you put yourself out there like this guy did.
It's Bannerman, dude.
Yeah. It's awful.
I mean, it's great what he did.
Yeah.
It's because it got a dialogue going. And the fact, I was not shocked to see the amount of people that were supporting him on the Chinese internet, but I was shocked that it took more than 1 minute to shut it down.
Yeah.
Because they blocked everything coming out of that. There isn't even a period where they were restricting the search of Beijing.
Yeah, you cannot on Weibo. I'm not sure if they've restored it.
Oh, they've definitely restored it by
but
now. Yeah.
You couldn't even search the word Beijing in English on Weibo.
Yeah.
that had been blocked.
Because it was a code word for looking
Even
this up.
there's even a popular song called Sitong Bridge, which is Sitong Xiao. There's a popular song was removed from music streaming sites and things like that, just because this guy unfurled the banner on the Sitong Bridge. They probably thought that people were going to be playing that as like a form of protest or something, or solidarity.
Yeah.
Either way, this is massive news, and again, it once again throws mud in the face of all these people that say the Chinese people support their government. They all love the CCP. They all support them. They all stand behind them. They all agree with them.
You know, it's crazy though. Is Banner Man, when he did this, and then that many people came out to say, "Oh, that's brave. What a hero."
Yeah.
It showed you how quickly, with a little bit of confidence and a little bit of support, and someone stepping out of the comfort zone to do this, was just enough inspiration to get a bunch of people behind him. Right? Not willing to go stand up and have a revolution or something like this, but that shows how fragile a society built on one-party dictatorship is, and cult of personality. How fragile that is when you have to maintain that through such severe censorship and power.
Yeah.
It's so fragile.
Yep.
It's so delicate that one person can really cause a shitstorm.
I know, it's insane. And, you know, like anyone who shared this out on their Weibo or whatever, got their accounts canceled or suspended and so on. Of course, this was taken care of incredibly quickly, and that's how the censorship machine works, but not before it leaked out, not before people got to see it, not before people knew. And this, like we said, is the worst timing for the Communist Party of China, because it's right before their big
That's why
thing.
he did it. He didn't do this as a joke.
No.
You know, he did this for a reason, because people need to pay attention to what's about to happen.
It's a massive sacrifice that he's done, and he's done it for the people, as he says on his own signs there, for the people. You know, we are the people. We must stand up. You know,
he actually adhered to the original communist principles of China.
Yeah.
Arise, all those who refuse to be slaves. We the people. You know?
Yeah.
No.
So, a big shout out to this guy, although whether he's still with us on this earth
Rest
or not.
in peace if not.
We don't know.
He will be a martyr, though.
Yeah.
He will absolutely be a martyr because people will eventually figure out who it was.
Well, they didn't figure out who Tankman was.
True. But that was 1989.
Yeah.
This is 2022. You can find... I'm not doing the current date fallacy.
Yeah, sure. No, look, there have been some rumors and speculation as to who he is.
Oh, they'll figure it out.
And I've already received, like, it's definitely this guy, and they sent the bio of this guy. But you know what?
It does look like that guy.
Yeah, but we don't want to put anything out there until it's 100% sure. But anyway,
the thing is, there was a manifesto of sorts on the speculated person that we're talking about.
Yeah, which matched the same words
Almost
as
the same.
as
We
the banner.
put them next to each other.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the same, and so it looks very much like that. But before anything's confirmed, we didn't want to jump on it. We don't want to attribute this to somebody that either didn't do it or somebody that that's unrelated to this event. Sure. You know?
Anyway, that's this massive thing that's been happening in Beijing, but that's going to lead us into our sort of main thing.
People wanted to see the whole picture.
Okay, let's get us out of there. I'll actually take you through the pictures one by one slowly, because I think we did rush that a little bit.
Sure.
So here's the video. We'll just start from the top, okay? What you see now is the aftermath. This is the firefighters are putting out the fire. They've just put it out, and the man is being arrested. There he is being put in the police car. Okay. I haven't figured out how to shut down his bullhorn yet, though.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, pause it though. I just want everyone to know. You know that thing that you're hearing, the bullhorn thing?
Yeah.
That's what they use when they sell stuff on like little trikes. So a trike will go around, right?
Yeah.
And it'll go around. It'll be like trying to sell grapes.
Yes.
It'll be like 葡萄 5 块 5 块.
Yeah.
And it's
5 块,
you can type in like commands for it, and it reads it in a computer voice and shouts it out of those cheap bullhorns, and he's doing it. It's so crazy to hear a protest message over one of those things. I've never heard that.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's continue on there. So we're out of here again. So they're wrapping up the banner, which of course they very quickly got off that bridge.
墙上是有个自焚的嘛，拉横幅了，这20大添堵啊，这可是有问题了。
And this is footage of someone driving past. You see the banners up there on the bridge, on the overpass. And here's from the Great Translation Movement. They did a translation here. And it says, no PCR tests. We want food, et cetera, like we said before.
People are asking what it was saying. We already read that earlier. Basically, it's saying what's on the banners. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you want to read this translation for those who didn't see?
It's really far away from.
Yeah, it's a bit small. I sent you the pictures. You got them on your computer. Just
Sure.
bring them up quickly. Like our monitor to view what's going on is like on the other side of the studio office thing we've got here, so it's too far away to see.
So this one says no PCR test but food, no lockdown but free, no lies but dignity, no political revolution but reform, no dictator but votes, no not to be slave but we the people. So basically what they're saying is they don't want like a massive revolution, not like that. They want freedom, right? They want reform. They want things to get, and that's what we've been calling for. We're not talking about regime change. We're not talking about any of this stuff. We're talking about just reforming and stop being such dicks to your people.
Yeah, and it was going that way.
It was.
What is the second? The
second
one,
one
which is the more
says-
damning one.
Yeah, that says on the right, it says students strike, workers strike, people strike, the dictator, traitor, Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
Which is,
in other words,
that gives me chills. Like that's, wow.
So students, workers
in Beijing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the one that's going to ensure that this man's never seen again.
Yeah.
Because he's calling for students and workers and people to rise up and overthrow the traitor Xi Jinping.
Right. It's
wow. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, that's the one on the right. You can see with the red writing over there.
Yeah. This guy has got chos of freaking Tia, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Balls of steel. Yeah.
Chos of Tia, bro.
Yeah.
Bannerman for life.
Yeah, Bannerman. Bannerman being arrested by the traffic police there. That's a motorcycle policeman. Obviously, that's the quickest way they could get to him.
Yeah, because they can get around through the traffic.
Yeah. So they were obviously alerted and immediately sent people out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what's been going on there. But now we have to explain to you about this party congress, the 20th party congress, which is about to start. And we're going to show you some pretty disturbing video after that about where this is all going.
Yeah. I think maybe just freeze frame it on Bannerman. We can give him the spotlight while we talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll find
I
a
think
nice
Bannerman
picture.
deserves like more screen time as I talk about this party congress.
Okay. I'll go back a little bit and I'll try to find a nice
last image of him.
Let's see.
Good little memory.
There he is.
I wanted
you
to
can
be
see him over there.
Memorialized not being like arrested. It's like while he was standing there in his last few moments.
Yeah.
So there's this thing called the Party Congress. Now you might think that sounds like a bunch of politicians drinking,
having a
party, but it's the wrong kind of party.
Sure.
It's the Communist Party. It's the worst, really the worst party there is.
Yes.
None of that fun. None of those games. I guess with a lot of corruption and wealth can come a lot of fun.
Sure.
They do have, those party officials do get down and have a good time, at times.
Sure.
With the people's money.
So what do they do at the party congress?
So what they do at the party congress is this kind of when they allow a smooth transition of power to the next leader.
Yeah.
So prior to this, you could serve 2 terms, right? So you have a leader like Deng Xiaoping, you have a leader like Jiang Zemin, you have a leader like Hu Jintao. Jiang Zemin and Hu Jintao serve their 2 terms. And then within the party congress, all of the cliques and the people within that congress decide who's going to be groomed to be the next leader. And the only reason this really exists is to ensure that the CCP continues, that the Communist Party of China continues.
And, Deng Xiaoping kind of made it this way so that we wouldn't have another Mao Zedong.
Right. Now, I want to get everyone's head out of comparing this with their Western lens to the American political system or something like this. These are not democratically elected officials. The whole system is rigged from the top.
It's like only the officials get to elect the officials.
Correct, right? This is not where we're not. Don't try to make it sounds like there's some balance or something. There is some balance, but it's within the uppermost echelon of the top party elite within China. Yeah. It's to only ensure that the CCP proliferates, not that the people have better lives.
Exactly.
Now, there might be people within the party that want better things for the people, but the whole point of this party congress is to make sure that the next leader of China ensures the longevity of the CCP and its 90 million officials.
Yes.
They don't want upheaval politically. They don't want people to overthrow that party. That's what pays the bills. That's what feeds everyone within the party. That's what creates this power dynamic, right? To make sure they have ultimate power over the people. The problem is that there's multiple cliques within one Communist Party that obviously have different interests. They have different corrupt values that they want to protect their own assets in certain provinces or certain areas, right? And they want policies that kind of ensure that they end up on top, right? That whole weird, crap, awful balance, that power struggle, is kind of what makes the CCP okay, like slightly okay. It makes a kind of functional world government. Definitely on the bottom in terms of like human rights and freedoms.
But the fact that you get some differing opinions, they kind of keep each other in check.
Yeah, it's like it's an improvement over Mao. I'll put it to you that way.
Because Mao just said whatever he wants, and they had to do it.
Yes, like just one man and then everyone,
Yeah.
So it's created this bizarre it kind of works. It's not great, but it's better than it was scenario.
Yeah.
That's how I like to put it, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is people keep using this Western lens to think that, okay, this party Congress, this is where they pick the next leader, right?
Yeah.
This is where this is all going to go down. They watch it like it's going to be some sort of election. But what people have to understand is that's already been decided.
Yes.
What Xi Jinping did to buck the whole system of this delicate balance that was in the party was get rid of every single political clique within the party.
Yes.
They still exist, but they are so neutered to the point where they don't pose a threat or challenge to Xi Jinping's rule.
Yes.
So that weird, delicate balance of one clique saying, hey, maybe we should do this a little bit differently. Let's choose this person for this position. Hey, the economy's not doing great. Maybe we'll choose this person for this position. That weird network of kind of checks and balances, let's say maybe 5% of what a developed democracy has, is gone.
Sure. Now it's only Xi Jinping's
It's only Xi Jinping's friends, right? And that's the problem, is that you use a Western lens and you say, okay, you're going to go to this party Congress and there's all this speculation they're going to pick someone else because 1 in 5 young Chinese people don't have jobs. Yes. The economy is absolutely tanking, right? Zero COVID is a disaster and a laughingstock for the entire world, and everyone's using China as a poster child for why authoritarian countries don't work anymore.
Yes.
It's a huge, huge kind of smear on the face of the Chinese Communist Party. The draconian lockdowns that made it to video everywhere in the world that people haven't forgotten yet.
No.
Nobody wants to emulate that.
Being welded into your apartments and stuff.
The supposed success story is a failure.
Yes.
For international image, right? So you'd say, well, anybody living under a system like that would say, hey, let's do something to make sure that person doesn't stay in power.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that person doesn't continue to proliferate these horrible, horrible things that are hurting.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to answer for. Like under his leadership, we've seen a lot of failures.
Yes, the most.
Yeah, and a huge downturn in China's economy, like you said, and the freedoms and so on.
Yeah, and so the biggest issue with that is that it's always been theorized that, hey, Chinese people will tolerate anything as long as they can have money, because before they were poor and now they're not as poor.
Sure.
But now that the economy is in a downturn, there's even more distrust of the government within the Chinese populace, right?
Sure.
People are getting restless. You see, like this, a great example is Bannerman, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of support that he got after unfurling that banner shows deep down, again, like I said, how fragile that actually is.
Yeah.
But when you use a Western lens to look at this, you're going to think someone's going to be ousted from power and things are going to change. What we have to understand is that in a situation where Xi Jinping has gotten rid of any term limitations and allowed himself to be elected for a third term, and then in the process killed, disappeared, or eradicated anyone that could challenge that, there is no chance for reform or ousting a dictator in this situation. It doesn't matter. The other people that pose a threat to him have been neutered. And now you also have to look at the fact that it's a Marxist-Leninist government. Marxist-Leninist governments are not necessarily, they may be founded through revolution, but they don't continue through revolution.
Yeah.
What happens is that the dictator is given so much power that when they're an incumbent, when they're about to be elected again within the party, they've already selected all the people around them. Those positions have already been solidified.
Yeah.
So you have a situation where even if it's the incumbent and things might be jostled around a bit, it's already been predetermined.
Yeah.
Right? So there is no chance for them to be like, yep, you know what? Enough of this crap, There's a lot of rumblings within the party, I guarantee you.
So what you're saying is this whole party Congress thing is basically a bunch of people going to go sit in a room and just twiddle their thumbs and walk out and say, yeah, Xi Jinping's still the leader.
Yes, but it's also to decide the other political positions.
Right.
People that run certain areas of the government And even if there is, let me tell you how bad this is.
Yeah.
Even if there is what looks like to be a big shakeup, let's say you have a really reform-minded person that ends up in a position of treasury or something, right?
Sure.
It doesn't matter because Xi Jinping has taken away all of those minor checks and balances to the point where those people's positions are nominal anyway.
Sure.
It's not that he just replaced the people around him with yes men. It's that he made those jobs kind of useless to the point where his theory and his ideas have superseded all of the balance within the party. So you have people like that might look good on paper, like Li Keqiang, right? The premier of, we can call vice president if you want to use Western terms, vice president of China, the premier, Li Keqiang. His job is technically supposed to be looking at the economy and fixing that stuff.
Sure.
And he's the one that will go out in public, and Xi Jinping gets obviously very furious at this and says, hey, there's millions and millions of Chinese people living in abject poverty. Sure. And that flies directly in the face of Xi Jinping saying that there's no more poverty, right? You have people that want to do things within the party that can't do anything anymore.
Right.
And this is what I would say to look out for. When you see the 20th People's Congress, don't expect anything to be like, wow, I can't believe things have changed, right?
Sure.
What I would say is when you're watching this, look for warning signs of things getting worse. And what that would be is Xi Jinping coming up with a new title for himself.
Right.
So not president anymore, not leader, not whatever. Start looking for things like the chairman of the party, going back to the Mao days.
Sure.
Right? Start looking for things like taking his Xi Jinping thought, kind of like Mao Zedong thought, the Mao Zedong Red Book.
Yeah.
And not just forcing it on the people, because it's being forced on the people.
Yeah,
in
everybody has to
education
study
right now,
that crap,
right?
yeah.
But making it enshrined in Communist Party doctrine.
Right.
And what that means is it's not just because he's the leader we study this now. It's from now on, this will be part of the charter of the Communist Party.
Sure.
If you see Xi Jinping thought enshrined in Communist Party doctrine, then that is a very worrying sign that we're now on a path where he's so unhinged with what's actually happening and surrounded himself with such yes men that we're on a path of Mao Zedong.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of arguments that say, hey, Mao Zedong and Xi both are cult of personalities, but one of them was very charismatic, one of them actually had power over the people, and one of them is very stale and uses brutal power behind the scenes to kind of run the show. And I would disagree to a certain extent because I've seen Xi Jinping go from, kind of mildly popular to now trying his utmost best.
Why don't we just show people?
To being a god figure.
Why don't we just show everybody?
Sure.
All of this political theater crap aside, because we all know that this 20th Party Congress is just a bunch of crap, and it's just there because it's something they have to do, and they're going to go do there. It's not going to make any difference. Xi Jinping's still going to be the leader. Xi Jinping's still going to be the chairman, emperor of China, and he's going to continue to consolidate power. He's continue to become more and more powerful. But the more worrying thing is the way that they're trying to force everybody to worship this man. Everybody in China is now being told that he is to be worshipped. And People's Daily wants you as a foreigner to worship him too.
Yes.
And so we have a lovely little clip in English for you and me, basically telling us how we should think and what we should think of Xi Jinping. So we're going to go through this little video clip quickly together, and we're going to criticize it as we go through, because there's a lot to be criticized. Sorry, let me get past the Bannerman saga over here. And let's get into this video from People's Daily. Okay. All right. So let's start this out. Everybody brace yourselves.
The elderly, the young, the underprivileged, ethnic groups. In order to care for them, we first need to understand them.
Okay, now, immediately before we continue with this, the wording of that just proves how little the Chinese government, or Xi Jinping in this manner, because the gist of this video, as you'll see, is like, oh, but Xi Jinping goes out and understands the people type thing. It shows you how little they know about what. Let's look at these different groups of people that they say. They start out with the elderly. Okay, the elderly, right?
The elderly, the young.
So old people, young people.
The underprivileged.
Underprivileged, poor people.
Ethnic groups.
And ethnic groups. Those people. they're obviously something separate from the government because it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in
In order to care for them, we first need to understand
Very
them.
othering.
yeah,
isn't it?
in order to care for them, we first have to understand them. That's
Yeah.
like when you look after pets.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
you have
gonna
to
go
know the care sheet.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna
This pug
go.
desires certain food, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Like I want to go buy gerbils, and I have to
Yeah.
figure out what do they eat,
Yes,
what's their
that's how it comes
habitat.
on.
It's like it's
Yeah.
these underprivileged people, so poor people, ethnic minorities.
And also,
I know
not which,
nothing.
not which ethnic minorities, which are huge parts of the country, by the way.
just
all
ethnic
of
minorities
them.
in general.
Yeah.
It shows you that they know nothing about these different groups and care
Yes.
very little for them.
Yes.
So they're like, well, in order to understand them, I guess we have to get to know,
Yeah.
to know them.
By the way, this
Mm-hmm.
is about to. If anyone ever says, "Oh, Xi Jinping's not the next Mao," show them the rest of this clip.
Yeah, let's just continue. Let's continue.
There is a man who understands and cares for the people. No matter how much time it takes or how far distant, he will be there with those in need. From rural areas in central China to an earthquake-stricken region, from the cold days of winter to the sunny spring,
Oh, shame. Poor dictator. He has to endure a cold day of winter every once in a while. Are we Xi Jinping? Because we've done all of this too.
Yeah.
We've been to
You know how it is, like,
regions.
they're-
We've been to the central of China.
Yes.
We've been to all these places.
But you understand that leaders in China should never be that 辛苦.
Yeah, they should never
that
have to
suffering.
deal with a cold day. They should never have to get on a plane or a train and travel a far distance.
Oh, this food, it's not perfect room temperature. It's
It's
a
like,
bit hot.
it's not enough pork. Also, I don't know if our audience has noticed this, but all of the footage of him out there, like with people, is very old.
Most of it,
Okay,
yeah.
look at this. This is shit ADP from like the 90s. Okay,
Yeah, well,
this.
it's the 2000s.
Yeah,
It
whatever. But
looks
they're
like it's
using
from the 90s,
they're
yeah.
using like the kind of camera I filmed our intro on.
Yes,
Like a
yes.
VHS camcorder.
Yeah, it looks like it's definitely from his leadership time, but that's how
but
bad
it's like,
their filming quality.
Look
is.
how bad it looks. Look at that, the quality of that. I
This
mean,
is post 2012, which is sad that they're
Yeah.
still using. That guy's Mao
Like-
hair.
yeah, he does. I mean, look at this quality. And then, of course, a
Then
still
stills, yeah.
photo is going to be good quality from the time, and you
Yeah.
can mess with it. Anyway, let's continue on the arduous, treacherous journey of Xi Jinping. How he has to sometimes be there in winter, but sometimes in spring
This
too.
is scary though.
And look, he's even been to rural areas. What a man! What a man!
Rural areas,
He
you
went
don't
to
say.
rural areas. Him?
from rural areas in central China to an earthquake-stricken region, from the cold days of winter to the sunny spring. Nothing deters him from coming together with people.
This is also nonsense because we've seen how he makes sure no one's near him when he makes a speech
In
and
the
stuff
empty
in
subway.
his empty subway. Yeah.
And understanding their needs. He learned sign language so that he could communicate with handicapped teens.
Oh my
di-
gosh, what a stretch, guys. Stretch
Now,
Armstrong over here.
I'd like to see proof of that, by the way, because they said he learned sign language so that he could communicate.
So what he learned was
with handi-
xie.
Yeah, this is xie, which means thank you in Chinese sign language, right?
Yeah.
Is that the same in English sign language?
I don't think so. No, American Sign Language is totally different.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay,
Different
well-
language.
Why would I mean?
There's literally so many different sign languages.
I didn't know that
Yeah,
because
it's
for,
lots.
for me it's just like
No.
think about it. You don't say something, but I guess you have lip reading and
Yeah,
stuff.
for
Whatever. I don't know anything about this, but one thing I can tell you is I now know as much sign language as Xi Jinping does.
Yeah. I just the quote in the video, and this, by the way, this is government.
This
made.
is a government video.
The quote in the video insinuates that he learned fluent sign language
Yeah.
to talk to one person.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean?
listen to it
He
again.
learned sign language so that he could communicate with handicapped teens.
The handicapped teens. Do you
Sorry,
see
more
that
than one person.
that handicapped teen showed him?
Yeah.
You see?
He
And then
learned.
he learned. So he learned sign language to communicate with handicapped teens.
Yo, teach me
Bull-
something in Afrikaans.
Bullshit. Okay, kak.
Kak.
Yeah.
I just learned Afrikaans so I could speak to my South African friend.
There we go. That's it.
Done. I'm done. I
I mean,
finished.
isn't it just insulting? Xi Jinping doesn't know sign language.
Rob Lowery says, no, that's a pen clicking contest right there.
It's a pen clicking contest.
No, I did
Yeah.
know that with Xixian Chinese Sign Language. That was one of the first things I learned in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, just to show you how they glorify this man as if he's
Yeah.
some godlike figure that
Yeah.
just does everything for the people. All he does is eat pork. And so, okay, let's see where this goes from here.
Sitting on a worn-out mattress, he chatted with an 80-year-old man about how to fight poverty.
And then he ate his food. What the hell, Xi Jinping? So they say sitting on a worn-out mattress. Oh, the poor dear.
His poor loins.
This poor man. He had to sit on a worn-out mattress and talk to an 80-year-old man.
Loins
about-
are not butts, are they?
No, you
Those are
think-
like thighs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
you look it
sorry.
up. Anyway,
Sorry.
he had to
His
sit.
poor buttocks. It's a worn out mattress.
Yeah.
Oh.
He had to talk to this man.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
this old
you
man.
had to talk to this filthy man.
Yes. This old man.
This
you see,
disgusting old man.
remember in the beginning it started with like you have to understand the elderly, you know? So it's like you had to talk to him and then eat his food.
I have to eat this shit.
Yeah.
And you know what they did? They prepped like the most beautiful foreign potatoes
Yeah.
that he got from a different country. And they had it prepped ahead of time, like ready there in the pot.
Yeah.
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 And he spat it out anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, this poor man salivating, looking
Yeah,
at
he's
this
like,
this
"Please don't eat
potato.
my potato."
He's like, that's my month's ration, and you just ate it.
Yes.
At the border, he
Okay, wait. Let's go back. Sorry, I just we'll go back to worn out mattress boy over
Yeah,
here.
I just love the quote there.
Yeah, sitting on a worn out mattress.
he chatted with an 80-year-old man about how to fight poverty.
It's like he taught the man how to fight poverty.
How is he teaching the old man to fight poverty?
He's a princeling. He was born into a $1 million wealthy family.
Yeah, is
in
the
the
old-
political elite.
Maybe the old man has to teach
Oh,
him.
maybe. Yeah.
Maybe that's the idea. But then he eats the old man's only food. You see the little boy there. You can see he's like staring up. He's like, "Don't eat it. I
that's
want that. I've never had that before." It's like, stop.
had
It's
that.
like, why do you get to eat this?
At the border, he stood together with soldiers on duty.
He's not standing together with them, and that's the thing. There's that soldier. You can see he's been standing outside a lot. Okay,
long
and
time, yeah.
and his mask is all full of, ice and what have you. And Xi Jinping's not standing together with him. He hopped out of his like air-conditioned van or whatever, walked over, shook his hand, and then got
Yes.
back in or went
Yes.
back in and ate pork. While these guys stood around,
In an ethnic home, he shared happiness and life stories with local folks.
Okay. In an ethnic home.
Not which. Don't
What
say
if-
which.
what
Don't say which
ethnicity?
ethnicity. Don't tell us anything about their language, history, or culture, or where they are. It's an ethnic. It's common.
Yeah,
it's
it's that
means
stuff.
我们外国人.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
This othering thing that the Han CCP does.
Yeah. Oh, he actually sat in an ethnic home? The
Yeah.
poor dear.
An
Again.
ethnic home.
Yeah.
What is an ethnic home? Did the home do a special dance on a holiday?
Yeah, and please,
Did it
pray,
prepare a
like you
dish?
said, pray tell, what
Yeah.
ethnicity is
Please.
this? Just a random one?
Please tell us what ethnic. I would hazard a guess that he has no idea.
He probably doesn't know.
No.
It's
Is it
it's
Tajik? Is it Kazakh?
super
Is
insulting.
it, yes. Is it Izu? Which
Yeah,
one? Is
yeah.
it Mongolian? Is
He
it
doesn't know.
Uyghur?
He
Is it
doesn't know. It's
Tibetan?
just an ethnic one.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if I don't know, Biden sits in a minority's home.
Right.
You're like, which minority?
I don't know.
Just you see, he also slums it with the minorities sometimes, and
Yeah.
it shows him with
On
like
a worn out mattress.
worn out mattress.
Biden sits on a piece of cardboard
with
with
in a
ethnic-
minority
no,
house.
it's an ethnic man.
Yes.
It's like a homeless dude on a piece of cardboard.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's see what he does in this ethnic home.
He shared happiness and life stories with local folks. Along the way, he has made up his mind on what needs to be done. From helping tens of millions out of poverty,
He did it.
Yeah,
He did it.
He helped them out of poverty, did he? No, his party put them in poverty in the first place, is what happened.
They just literally changed the standard of what poverty is and then made it illegal to say that people are impoverished in China now.
Yeah.
While people are impoverished.
Yeah.
They don't get to say that, help me, please, I'm poor.
And also, this is a bunch of nonsense that they're putting this all on his shoulders like he did it. While we were in China, in the beginning days with Hu Jintao, this stuff was happening. China was getting rich. The people were.
No, it wasn't a directive.
This is not Xi Jinping suddenly came there and it's like, oh, look, everybody's out of poverty now.
It's basically insinuating under Hu Jintao, everyone was very poor. Now they are not.
Yes.
That's basically what this is.
It's like Xi Jinping came into power and suddenly...
By the way, if we look at the statistics, the economy has slowed.
Yes.
That's the reality.
It's
gotten worse under Xi Jinping because of his direct policies.
But this is what they're doing with this kind of... By the way, like I said, this is in English for you and me.
Yeah, this is not for Chinese.
This is supposed to brainwash us. You have no idea the amount of crap Chinese people have to put up with on the daily about how incredible this man is and what he's done for them.
Yeah, it's just a little taste.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get back to it. What did he do next?
To addressing the challenges posed by nature.
He's like, this tree is not fake. Maybe it is. He's just like, this tree needs to be cut down.
You know that tree is enshrined now.
Oh, yeah. It's don't touch this.
To making one landmark accomplishment after another.
Oh, yeah. Olympics, of course. That was his thing.
He cares for China's 1.
You know how... Can you go back for a while? I won't make you rewind after this, but go back to that part where they do the supercut of like all his accomplishments. And look at that sentence right there.
Okay.
Just read that.
To making one landmark accomplishment after another.
He did that.
Yeah.
Do you understand how bad this is? At least the propaganda before would be like, it was even heartwarming a little bit back when we were in China. In the beginning, I would say like, we Chinese people have finally like got out of the dumps. We're working hard and like China's accomplishing things. But it was we Chinese people. At least it was that.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like, good for you guys. That's awesome. That's cool. And people kind of felt camaraderie.
Yeah.
This is attributing everything to one person. Let me tell you, that hasn't happened since Mao.
Yeah.
They're attributing every single positive thing that's happened to one man.
Yeah. All
That's
these
dangerous.
achievements are because of him.
That's bad.
Only him. Not the hardworking Chinese people, not the hardworking American scientists whose intellectual property was stolen.
Yeah.
Not anything. Nope, it's Xi Jinping. He did everything.
You see how dangerous that is?
Oh, yeah.
Another.
Not the fact that the Olympics, by the way, is not got anything to do with China.
It's an international event.
Yeah, it was started hundreds of thousands of whatever years ago in Greece.
Years,
And it was the Olympic Committee was like, we're going to allow China to have this chance, to come on the world stage. But all of a sudden, this is Xi Jinping's achievement.
You see what they do, right? Yeah. Everything. That's why you can't let the Communist Party of China have or host events.
Yeah.
Is they will attribute everything to a leader.
Yeah. You know what? One thing they didn't achieve is good audio.
Yeah.
There's
It's not an achievement.
You're-
It wasn't on the list.
These technauts up in
Technauts,
space.
dude.
This most important thing, like, we're in space and they can't even have a microphone that works.
No.
Maybe in space you can't hear voice.
He cares for China's 1.4 billion people and their future. He understands and trusts the people.
No, he doesn't trust the people. We've seen that multiple times by the way he behaves.
You might as well just reverse everything.
He doesn't, and he certainly doesn't care for 1.4 billion Chinese people. That's for sure.
No.
I mean, it's shown time and time again that there are certain segments of the population which just aren't cared for in China. Uyghurs, for example.
Yeah.
Just Tibetans. Anyway.
He is in turn understood and trusted. That's why Xi Jinping spends so much time among them.
He doesn't actually spend a lot of time among the people.
The video truth is why he doesn't spend time amongst the people and doesn't understand them would be the appropriate thing. It's like they have to. What is it called again? Is it called like projection? That's right. That's right.
I mean, look, they managed to take every photo and every video appearance of him. They had to dig in the archives, right?
Yeah.
To find when he actually interacted with people back in the early 2000s. That's why it's in shit ADP.
Yes.
And all these photos were from the very few times he's appeared in a big crowd. And they
This
put it
is
all together.
all of the millions of times.
Yes, and they're like, he's always with the people. Meanwhile, he disappears all
And
the
people,
time.
like half the articles around and people talk on Weibo half the time, and then they get removed. They're like, where has he been for the past 3 weeks?
I know. He's never around. He doesn't hang with the people. He's very secluded, actually.
Yeah.
Disappears for massive long
Definitely
periods.
the most paranoid leader.
Yeah, incredibly paranoid.
Look at footage of him compared to Jiang Zemin. Jiang Zemin was literally wandering around in crowds. Like, he loves loving it, egoing it up.
Yeah.
Touching people, you never see that here.
No.
This is all set up. It's a set every
Yes,
time.
absolutely.
江山就是人民，人民就是江山。
Wow, such profound words.
You know what's wild?
What?
Is there are people now because this stuff is ramped up so crazily. I think the leadership thinks it's working, but you know what's crazy is this: you can rile people up, you can use xenophobia, you can use nationalism stuff to a certain extent, and that it is successful for sure. China does that all the time.
Yeah.
But right now, because of this cult of personality stuff, the people that are old enough to remember, so I'm talking about people in their 50s and 60s right now, are watching this unfurl, and a lot of people are now saying, ooh, this is bad vibes. Even people that are mad pro-China and even mad pro-CCP.
Yeah.
They're like, this is bad vibes because it's reminding them of the Cultural Revolution.
Yeah.
And that's the cult of personality of Mao that time. That's when everything got really bad. So a lot of people are getting bad vibes. I'm not talking about people in like some like dissident church. I'm talking about people. This is rumblings like amongst the Chinese people right now. It's pretty wild.
It is. Well, if you think about it, Mao Zedong's thing was like, we're going to surpass the United States and Britain and stuff. We're going to, reach that, and now it's the same. We're going to be self-sufficient by 2025.
Yes, but everyone else is bad, by the way.
Yeah.
We're not going to work together.
No,
Remember in Jiang Zemin and Hu Jintao era was, we're going to work together with the rest of the world and we'll get better. That was I didn't know if it might not be true or not, but that was at least what they told people.
Yeah.
Now it's everyone's bad and we're going to be self-sufficient.
We're going to have the chip technology. We're going to have all this. We're going to do it.
And everyone sucks.
It's kind of getting, and then when things get a downturn, they blame the rest. When things start to fail, they double down.
Yeah.
Same thing's happening, man. We're seeing the bad old days of China returning under the bad leadership of Xi Jinping. If anything, he's a detriment to the country.
Oh, everyone would agree with that pretty much.
People's Daily wants you to think that he's some sort of gift.
That's scary.
Yeah. Have you put that other clip, on the desktop yet?
I did, yeah. I'll read some super chats while I pull it up.
Okay, I got to get that up because if you think that's ridiculous, we just got to show you how bad this gets.
Yeah. All right. CS says, finally, my favorite time of the week, the China show. Glass of wine and a couple Benadryl. No Benadryl with wine. Put it away one at a time.
Yeah.
Chad Wrestler, thank you very much. Tom Folk, I'm broke, but enjoyed $5. Thanks for what you do. Thank you very much. That's really nice of you. You don't need to give us your hard-earned money, though, if you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Scott Hecker, hello, gents. Happy Friday. And to you too, Scott. RJ Namella, F you. And here's for a great show. Thanks. Okay. Well, little mixed message.
Let me just try and get this this thing to fit. Sorry, guys. I know it looks a bit janky.
Sure.
But this is the clip that we had completely forgotten to add to the media pack, and it's important for it to be in there. I'll explain to you why. Okay, this is pay no mind, but this is the typical foreign shill presenter going around showing poverty alleviation, how amazing China is, blah blah blah, on the CCP payroll. This is not an expose or an attack on this woman, but this comes from Xinhua, right, which is massive, big state media, and it's just one of those boring videos about look how great. Yeah,
but there's some great elements here.
Yes.
/ horrible.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to fast forward in the background to get to the relevant part, the part that we wanted to show you.
Unhit for habitation.
Unfit for habitation, yes.
Lunar 2 shout out.
Yeah, so the whole idea of this video, okay, which I suppose I can put it in the back and we can scroll through, is this desert area. And this woman who
Right.
So there's this desert area, okay, and apparently the government was so nice that they decided to move the people
because it was too uninhabitable.
Yeah, so forcefully move these people.
Yeah.
Okay, to another location, whether they wanted to or not doesn't matter. The government comes along and says, you know what, we're just going to move you, and move them to a new place. Okay. So blah blah blah. She shows how this is how terrible it used to be. People had to like take a shower out of a pot, and then the government came along and built these great new things like aqueducts and water and stuff. And then they moved all these people here. Okay, now here's the part that really is relevant to what we've been talking about, and it's super important to pay attention
it's a
to.
great feature.
So they always do this whenever there's any kind of criticism about anything to do with ethnic minorities or anything to do with poor people being relocated or whatever. They always get one of them in there and they sit them down and they're like, how good is your life
Every
now?
time, yeah.
And he's always like, before I used to have to struggle to get water. Now I earn lots of money and I'm very happy, but I look incredibly scared. Anyway, let's see.
1,000 yuan.
So President Xi Jinping actually came here to your house, and I see you have one of his questions to you up on the wall. It says, 你们在这里生活方便吗? What did you tell him?
这就是他来到我们家在我们客厅的沙发上和我们一家人聊起了家常，他会提问了这么一句话，说你们在这里生活方便吗？我就告诉他，把我们从这个。
Okay, so I would like everybody to pay attention to this. Never mind the fact that her Chinese is atrocious. We're not here to make fun of her. She's got a state job with Chinese state media or whatever. Yeah, who knows what the deal is. But it's very common for them to just get a foreigner to be a face, to go on these stupid propaganda things to try to prove to the rest of the world how great China is. But it actually shows how ridiculous things are.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. He's got this big picture, and this is not his house, obviously. It's probably like a little museum in the town.
Yeah.
He's got this thing up on the wall, okay? And he came and he asked a question. And the question was, 你们在这里生活方便吗? And that really just means, is it convenient living here?
It's not poetic at all.
It's as if
it's like the most spoken word.
Like, if that's simple Chinese, that's super simple. That's like kindergarten level stuff that anyone can read. Like, it is super simple. It's kind of like, I don't know, give me a simple English question that you would ask.
It would be like, Winston,
that's too complicated.
Sorry.
There's no names.
Sorry. Do you want to eat a sandwich?
Yes. So imagine Seymour comes to me and says, do you want to eat a sandwich? Comes to my house. And I'm so enthralled by that I get a hand calligraphy scroll written, do you want to eat a sandwich? You know, and then like in quotation marks, hyphen, sea milk. Yes. And I get it and I show it to everyone. I set up this room like that I can show everybody, because that's what it is. That scroll.
Someone please make a sea milk quote in calligraphy, do you want to eat a sandwich, on the subreddit, please.
It literally says, 你们在这里生活
方便吗? It literally says that.
方便 is like convenient.
Yes.
你们 you 在这里 over here. Life, like daily life.
Yeah,
so it's 生活 means to live, basically. So, is it convenient for you guys to live here?
Yeah, it's like, are you doing all right? You guys all right? It's like, it would be like, you guys all right?
Yeah.
Like written on
So, I mean, here's the biggest bunch of bullshit as well, though. Is okay, all right. So they get this stupid. Someone asked the most elementary, like kindergarten level question.
Banal.
It's meaningless.
Yes.
It's meaningless, and they get it enshrined.
Yes.
In a freaking scroll.
Yes.
On the wall.
Yes.
Okay, and then I like what he says. He says,
在这里生活方便吗? What did you tell him?
I guess she needs to learn Chinese, but it's okay. That's her own thing.
This might be
这就是他来到我们家在我们客厅的
I don't blame this guy. It's the craziest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah,
I get it.
Of course. So anyway, he says, if you can't see the subtitles at home or listening, he says, Xi Jinping came to my house and he sat on the couch in our living room. Okay, of course, there's the usual banquet out there for him of fruit and stuff. It says, while making chit-chat with us, he then asked me, 你们在这里生活方便了吗? Whatever. Now, I call bullshit on him having chit-chat with them, okay? Because if he literally did come and have chit-chat, they would have a whole bunch of scrolls up there.
And they'd have a way better quote than that. You know,
They'd have
certainly
said-
something would have come out of that conversation would have been better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They'd have a scroll over there like, 你好先生.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
You know, or he drank some tea and it's like, 好喝.
Yeah,
And that would be
yeah.
like, 好喝, Xi Jinping. It's nice to drink.
They'd
You know
have a
what I
lot
mean?
of scrolls.
There'd be a lot of scrolls. So
Yes.
I think he literally came down, sat down for the photo. 你们在这里生活方便了吗?
Eastern Blend, who has a great YouTube channel, by the way,
Yeah.
says Chapter 1 of Xi Jinping thought, 你们在这里生活方便吗?
Yeah, exactly. 你们在这里生活方便吗? He said that. Photos were taken,
Yes.
shook hands, got up and left.
Yes.
Because if he had said anything else, it would have been up on that
It
wall.
would have.
100%.
This
What
is
a
scary
crock
cult
of
of
shit.
personality
And this
shit.
shows you the cult of personality.
Yeah,
If people
yeah.
are going to take a stupid question like that.
It's less about the fact that this poor little farmer dude did
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and more about this got primetime state coverage.
Yes.
That's the indicative.
I
thing
mean,
here.
and isn't that crazy that they send some foreign
Yeah.
broad out there to go
Yeah.
and interview this poor guy who, for the rest of his life, will be honored that somebody asked him if it's convenient to live here.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get it. Like, you've got a photo of meeting the president or the chairman. That's great. Be proud of it. Put it up there. But this enshrining of that question is what really rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And the fact that state media goes out and shows it.
Yeah.
Isn't it ridiculous?
It is.
That will give you a little bit more insight into this cult personality of Xi Jinping. How everybody's being taught that he's like some kind of a god, some
Yeah.
kind of a man who's got a plan, who's just going to be there to take the country in whichever direction, and we're just going to sit back and let him do it because he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
That's what's going on right now.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, that's what it is. And everybody's being told that they
Jesus,
must.
take the
Yeah,
wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah. Everybody's literally being told to worship him and to trust him and to not question him. And if he ever says anything to you, you're going to put it in a scroll and enshrine it on your wall and
Yeah.
tell everybody around the world. It's crazy.
Do you want to
isn't
eat
it?
a sandwich? Sandwich Biden.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. Anyway, we've got to get back to our actual show. Well, that is our show, but that's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me just get back to the actual thing, because it's time for us to move to our next segment, by the way. We still got some good stuff for you guys. Don't you worry.
Primark290 says, this place kind of sucks. She. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he had to sit on a couch, someone's couch.
Probably worn out.
Yeah, yeah.
And just like the worn out mattress.
Yep.
Anyway, yes, let's go, Ryan. That's right, I'm talking tripe. No more tripe talk. It's cripe.
Don't talk
Yeah.
tripe.
It's cripe.
Yeah. Are those any good? I've got one too.
They're very dry.
La Boulangere.
Tornado Brick says, can you do a video ranking your favorite cities? I've done one ranking my favorite provinces, so that might satiate you until I do
I think
that
we did
someday.
some city stuff too.
We did on ADVChina. Go to ADVChina and search cities.
That's a dry grape.
That's a dry grape. Don't talk grape,
Yeah.
by the way.
Oh, I gotta get that up again, do I? Yeah, wait, did it not work?
Don't talk tripe.
There we go.
New music fund for Orgborg.
Oh.
Looks like he didn't like the new intro. You should. Dun, 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 dun. Sneaking weasel. Old matey says, what's up, Dandong?
Oh, we gotta do that.
Fort of Dandong.
By the way, guys, we've still got some pretty awesome stuff coming for you. So
I lived in Thailand. That Huawei AI is typical Thai accented English from General Secretary Xi. Oh, we know.
absolutely, it's just fake. Because you can tell, look, anyone who knows IT and computers and so on knows that it's fake. She was answering him before he'd even finished his sentences, for instance, and that's not how it works.
I don't think we have to even explain
I mean,
that.
you know, the motions, obviously it's doing motion capture like very poorly with a
Basic, like,
webcam or
webcam
something.
mocap.
Yeah, it's like it's really bad. Everything about it is fake. And the accent obviously really just gives it off because it wouldn't have a bad English accent if it was an AI.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're moving on to our next segment.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to move on now to Wumao Corner. We've got a big one for you today. This is where we talk
We're
about
already
the
rolling
haters.
over time, so we can't dwell too much.
Yeah, we just got to keep moving. And Wumar Corner is where we talk about the haters and the nonsense they get up to. And we've got some good stuff for you. But first, a reminder that we have our Shaban Ho show, everybody. For those of you who don't know.
Okay. That's pretty spicy. Oh man, that's really spicy.
That is a spicy thing.
Oh boy. Woo! Whoa! Oh man! Whoa!
It's not as nice as I want it to be. It
Wow.
might not look like it, but this is pretty bad.
It feels like somebody just like stabbed my tongue. Hopefully it doesn't give me digestional distress.
Yeah, don't puke.
Pizza ice cream.
Pizza ice creams, is that what it is? Yeah.
This dumbass food.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Have you tried it yet?
Yeah, so of course that's our patron exclusive show, patreon.com/ADV podcast. If you want to join the Shaban Ho tier, you can actually see us on Monday. It's kind of a little VIP club, a lot of fun. And as you can see, this past week we ate some incredibly spicy
Beep, beep, beep. We don't
things.
tell you. You gotta see it.
You can go see it. If you've seen it, you've seen it.
But
If
we
you-
also told a great story.
Yeah.
About
Pizza ice creams.
cream in China, which is
Yeah.
a multi-level marketing scam in China that we uncovered, and it's hilarious.
Showed some old footage of
Yeah.
some interesting things. So yeah, go check it out if you feel the need.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you guys on Monday. Those of you who are part of it.
Love to see you there.
Yeah,
We have
I'd
such
love
a
to
good
see you
time.
there if you're not a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's time for us to actually continue on with the with the show here, and here we go. Maybe you could explain what's
Yeah,
happening here.
somebody sent me these tweets.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe this when I was reading this. This is from Hu Xijin.
Yeah, for
This
those of you
is-
who don't know, he's used to be the editor for the Global Times, which is Chinese state media. It's like a propaganda media, like all of it is.
Yes.
But he's a very vocal critic of the West.
So somebody sent me these screenshots, and I actually typed them out to make sure they weren't fake because I couldn't believe this.
Yeah.
And in fact, these are real. It says, China is currently stable, especially its capital, Beijing. The COVID-19 epidemic has been well controlled here. In Beijing, there is no public dissatisfaction caused by epidemic control, as in some other remote places in China. I mean, you just can't make that up.
Nope.
It's so beautiful and poetic what happened right after that.
Yeah, because like a day after the banner man came along with unfurled his banner.
Oh.
And he actually deleted that tweet after the protest guy came out.
You know why? Not because he's wrong, because it will be a hotbed of a place where people are going to spam the shit out of Banner Man, and everyone's going to it'll bring attention to it. His
Yeah.
job is to make sure there's no attention on that.
Yeah. It also just shows you the Chinese government always tries to paint a picture, because this guy's Chinese government linked. Everything he does is endorsed by the government. He's
in the government.
He is.
It says
Chinese state affiliated media. He is the Chinese government. They always try to tell you something, but actually it's the opposite that's happening behind the scenes. As we can see, this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have next in our...
Instead of stay calm, stay clam, all right?
Stay clam. All right, now...
Oh, this is a great
This
story.
is fantastic. Now, we all know about Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah, you're the weapons expert. Let us know.
Okay, well, let's see. First of all, you get something called a HIMARS, okay? High mobility, whatever, artillery rocket system, okay?
Rocket
Basically, you got a truck with a missile launcher on the rear of it, okay? And it's very effective because it's very light. It can be transported in a plane. You can drop it somewhere, and it can drive out there. And it's not like a big heavy thing that needs to be on a big road or whatever. It can kind of go off-road. It's very mobile, very light, and it's deadly, okay? And it's been used to great effect in Ukraine. Comes from America. They supplied Ukraine with a bunch of these things. They've been knocking out Russian convoys and things with them, okay? It's been very effective. So, of course... Chinese state media has this guy, his name is Liu Yugang, who somehow hangs out with the Russian soldiers.
Wait a minute.
For Phoenix
Chinese
TV.
state media, Phoenix TV, hanging out with Russian troops on the battlefield?
Yeah.
How did they get access to that?
Yeah, so he goes around and he's always like telling everyone how well Russia's doing and how crap Ukraine is and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. What a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, but China didn't pick a side.
No, apparently not. Anyway, here's the funny part. So the other day, he's in Ukraine, okay, with the Russian troops as usual. This is him, okay, and he's like, oh, I got to tell you guys something. You know these M142 HIMARS? By the way, in Chinese, it's kind of funny. They call it a HIMAR because it sounds the same, but it means seahorse. So they call it a seahorse in Chinese. So he's like, the Russians have just destroyed an American HIMAR here in Ukraine. Like, we just destroyed one, and I got proof. And then his proof is
Which
this.
would be a big deal.
Of course,
They
because
have-
none of these have ever been destroyed, by the way. So this would be the first time it's ever
Yeah.
been destroyed, like in a foreign.
So to make it super
conflict.
simple, China's bragging that Russia blew up an American HIMARS.
Yeah, well, this Chinese reporter
Yeah.
for Phoenix TV.
On behalf of Russia.
On behalf of Russia, yeah. So this is his proof, okay? He's like, okay, look here, everyone. Here are the remains. And he lifts this up. And it says there...
It's got,
HIMAR Siling Du...
Fujian, yeah.
Yeah, Dujian. And this
Bujian,
is it Bujian?
Yeah.
Sorry, my mistake from this distance. Which means the broken parts of a HIMAR. Okay, now the interesting thing is, let me get out of here. There's an American flag. Actually, I'll probably get back in. There's an American flag
It's
on the
over
side.
there. It's
Okay.
so small, sorry.
Yeah, it's small. There's an American flag, and then it says made in China.
Wait, why is that funny? Before I'm laughing because I know. Let's tell everyone why that's funny. This is supposed to prove
that it's an American HIMAR that's been blown up. He obviously
But he
couldn't
didn't read it.
He
He
didn't
can't read
read the made in
English.
China. Yeah, he's just like, look at this. Okay, this is the remaining like broken, dead parts from. And okay, here's the thing. He turns it upside down. It's got English
I
on
can
it. It
recognize
says
that.
it says custom auto sound 69 to whatever. It's far away. 76 Chevelle.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, wait for it though. wait for it. And he's like, look at all this. This is proof of this HIMAR being destroyed. Guess what?
Proof that it's American.
Yeah. And these are the like broken bits. This is the debris left over. Turns out there's a Canadian YouTuber and TikToker who's restoring a burnt out like engine fire C3 Corvette. Now we know C3 Corvettes. We both owned one in the past.
Yeah, we sold them.
Yeah, we've since sold them and moved on. But I fully restored mine, and we had a lot of fun. But what he's showing is he actually stole this Canadian YouTuber's TikTok. Because he was like showing, hey, look, it's burnt out, and this is the radio. Let's look. This is side by
from his
side.
car.
Side by side. Okay, on the right-hand side is the Canadian, it's called Jump Boost Garage, okay? And on the left is the Chinese state media, douchebag who's going around saying, look, this is the Russian forces have destroyed this HIMARS, and this is the proof. Here's the leftover bits, okay? And what that is it's an aftermarket radio. Okay, as you can see, it says custom auto sound. We actually had exactly the same rating. We had the same one. And what it is these older cars, they come with crappy old radios that are like 8-track, or they're just only AM radio.
Yeah.
So if you want Bluetooth or something like that, you buy these like replica units made in China, like this one.
Yeah.
And you put it in your old car. It looks like the old thing, but it's actually, you can connect to Bluetooth and so on and so forth, right? And that's what it
So-called
was.
HIMARS.
Yeah, these so-called HIMARS. And it's absurd that they would use that in their state propaganda. This is the guy that they ripped it off from. By the way, thanks to Sydney Daddy as well, who's a friend of the show. And
I'm a patron of him. Great guy. If you follow Chinese language media, he is a critic of the CCP in Chinese.
Yeah, in Chinese. So he put out a video about this. And this is the guy, by the way, showing the radio. And he shows that the serial numbers and everything match up.
From the burnout
And that's
wreckage.
his burnt out Corvette. It's like a 78. Sorry, let's go back. Yeah. It's a 78 Corvette, completely burnt out. And he showed the radio. That is the thing that was used in the propaganda. He's all pissed off about it,
So let me get this straight. I just want everyone to understand.
Yeah.
Chinese state media went to Russia to back the soldiers and show that they destroyed an American HIMARS system.
Yeah.
They stole a clip from a Canadian YouTuber, his Corvette, burnt out Corvette, and said the burnt radio from his car was proof that the HIMARS was destroyed by Russia.
Yeah, this is the wreckage of the HIMARS.
Yes.
This, and look at all these
That's just-
electronics.
Like, how did they think nowadays with current internet technology that somebody's not going to figure that out? And how did that guy not look at it and read the made in China part, by the way?
Well, he can't read English.
Yeah, but that's like basic stuff.
Because it's got an American flag on it.
Yeah, so it's like, oh,
So
there
he's
we
like,
go.
ooh, yeah.
But think about that. That would have had to pass through. He didn't just jump on that. That would have had to pass through multiple people, editors, and all this kind of stuff, and no one caught that.
Yeah. You know what frustrates the crap out of me is that, well, at the end of the day, this proves that if you're engaging with TikTok, you're engaging with the enemy.
Yeah.
It's the way it is.
Chinese government.
Yeah, obviously the Chinese government. That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's who's using this.
Yes.
So
For
what
state media purposes.
the guy posted that clip because he basically was saying like, oh, this is the burnt out radio. I'm going to try restore this or whatever, right? He posted that on his TikTok.
Yeah, Adult Swim has a good point. He says if you put it on TikTok, you don't own it.
No.
Yeah.
He put it on TikTok, which is, of course, controlled by Chinese company ByteDance.
Who answers to the Chinese government.
The Chinese government then took that TikTok video and used it as propaganda to say that the Russians had destroyed a HIMARS in Ukraine.
I mean, it's so 差不多.
Yeah.
But it's so funny.
It's hilarious.
I love it.
I also love the fact that it actually says made in China on it.
It's so good.
Like, how dumb? How dumb do you have to be? Oh, look, it's an American HIMARS. This is the proof. Made in China. What a dumbass.
So actually, I have had a run in. You know Phoenix Media, who you just pulled up? This is Chinese state media. It's called Phoenix TV. And they actually did a hit piece on me on primetime TV.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking. This is not, we didn't Photoshop this in. I actually covered it on my channel a while ago. Where they spit on me.
Yeah, I
because
remember.
I made a parody video about how I hate my wife, which was a joke.
It was a joke video.
It was a two-parter. It was like why my wife hates me and why I hate my wife. And it was a parody on why people think that their cultural differences are so bad. You know what I mean? It's because we actually love each other and we love our cultural differences.
That's right.
But they took it verbatim.
They did.
And it's so cringe and so sad. And then they ripped me apart and spit on me on TV.
Yeah.
So enjoy.
Yeah, let's take a look, everyone. This is the same channel that put this crap out.
I put
Or
subtitles
that this
up.
reporter works for, we should say.
Yeah,
you've got.
It's a whole segment. I just put a little bit in.
Yeah. This poor guy is so distraught.
We linked everyone below.
Yeah, you can check out their videos. It's in the
比方
description.
说，他说他媳妇儿睡前一定要洗澡，亲戚爱串门，太粘人，爱省钱，每天都买菜。呸！呸！呸！呸！
He spit on me.
Yeah, he did.
That's not a joke, by the way.
No, that actually
they
did
a
happen.
Full-on like 5-minute hit piece on me.
Something that's been happening behind the scenes, by the way, everybody, is that ByteDance in China have unveiled a new logo.
Yeah,
You haven't heard about this. I'm sure you haven't, have you?
I have.
I'm talking about our audience.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say I put this together.
Yeah, but remember when I told you about this the other day? The reason for this, which is said very clearly in this tweet. Okay, I'll just read what this guy tweeted out. He said, ByteDance just unveiled a new logo in China. This is the new logo for Douyin Group. Douyin is, as you know, ByteDance's Chinese version of TikTok. Feels like a step to separate TikTok and Douyin. Okay? Now, Douyin and TikTok share the same logo.
It's the same app.
It's the same app.
It's exactly the same, except TikTok is banned in China just because it serves American content.
Yeah.
Or foreign content.
Yes.
And Douyin serves Chinese content, but it's the same app, same company, same everything, interface, everything.
It's absolutely
Yes.
the same.
一模一样, as they say.
So if you were to go to China and you have a Chinese phone and you look at the phone, you'll see the icon on there is the same as the TikTok icon that you have on your phone in America or in Australia or whatever the case may be. What they've done is they've changed the Douyin logo now because they realize that people are starting to catch on that, you know what, this is actually the Chinese government.
Yeah.
When I use TikTok, what I'm doing is I am giving all my information to China. I am, it's just crazy. All conspiracy theories out of the window. It is run, and the Chinese government has access to your information, which has been proven again recently.
Yep.
We spoke about it. So what they want to do is try and create a distance between the two by changing the logo of the Chinese one, but not the Western one. So they're going to keep the TikTok logo to stay the same as the Douyin TikTok one always was, but change the Douyin one, just so that people will start to have this kind of mental thing in their mind that, oh, it's two separate things, you know?
Yeah.
Douyin and TikTok.
It's
are
like
actually
when they
different.
rebranded CCP to the CPC.
Yeah.
It's so that all search results related to CCP aren't related to the Chinese government, and then CPC is a whole new, fresh look.
Yes, exactly.
There's always a way.
Just so you know, guys, don't get fooled by this kind of thing. TikTok is just a Chinese app, and the Chinese government does have access to it. Don't get fooled to think that there's something standing in their way. Just so you know, everything you put on TikTok, if you use TikTok, just remember,
not yours anymore.
Yeah, when you put it on TikTok, the Chinese government has access to it. So don't put anything there that you wouldn't want the Communist Party of China having access to. Put it that way, you know. What do we have next? Okay. Before we move into worldview, I guess we're going to answer a couple of super chats.
Yeah,
Let's
a
do
two. So obvious. That's bloody outrageous from Ultra Prime Mark.
Oh,
Do
we
the
don't have that
Dabai and their
anymore.
families get rewards or perks, or are they just compelled like the rest of the citizens? Kathleen Morrison. They, of course, they get rewards. They get paid. The Dabai are not like, most of them are not volunteers. They're workers. They're like healthcare workers and stuff, and police and etc. Edgy Nuke, look here. Listen, this is a great episode already. Here's some alcohol poisoning money. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Koala 1203. That new podcast intro actually hits harder than a ball sack.
Oh,
I'm
it
glad
does.
you like. Told you I was going to change the soundtrack because of your guys' pressure.
By the way, I made that all on a video toaster.
Yeah, it's epic.
Yeah,
it's actually really
it's fun.
cool. Doc Slothington, old Doc, says, I love how the Apple AI had the South African lawn gnome voice. Yeah.
Pretty much is a lawn gnome. Yeah, it's a Kabotiki, yeah.
Good call, Doc.
Yeah.
Quinn F. So-called ADVChina people think they can be the so-called China show when the so-called Matt and Winston so-called YouTubers try to make CCP look bad with so-called criticisms of the CPC while drinking so-called beer Coors Light. That's great.
Yeah.
Nice
Coors-
job, Quinn.
Yeah, Coors Light, dude.
Chideo says Turdinator AI.
Yeah, I know.
Recon1, you think Musk is buying the Bluebird to let the Red Dragon in? I mean, probably in a certain way.
Yeah.
Resist the CCP.
I made a video about that.
Said Elon Musk, a.k.a. Shilong Ma, dead worm horse. What? Like Silong Ma.
Yeah.
Norman Fair, I almost choked on my pineapple cake when at the end of the AI video, Sarah made the Shama to hand sign without sniffing her finger.
Yes, exactly.
This is the K-pop or the K-pop K-drama.
Yeah, it's like the love
the
thing.
Shama to go.
Yeah,
they
they
turn
do that.
it into it.
Exactly.
It's like, oops, you didn't know that was coming.
Yeah. Shall we hit our next segment? Okay, guys. Worldview, where we talk about everything that's new in the world with regards to China. And of course, the show hasn't ended yet. We still have quite a bit to talk about here. Let's take a quick look. This is something I think you want to talk about here.
It's Peter Zahan. He's the geopolitics guy that talks about China a lot. People always want us to talk about him.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do was instead of talk about him, because a lot of his stuff is awesome, actually.
I agree with a lot of what he says.
what he
I do think that he's a bit gullible in a lot of ways to think that. Well, what's the correct word? Maybe not gullible.
No. I think he's statistically correct.
Statistically,
on nearly
but he,
everything I've seen.
for instance, about the whole chip thing, he said that China has no medium-range chips.
And they do.
They definitely do. I mean, they basically stole ARM technologies right out from under ARM. I know there's some kind of resolution to that, but
the ability
they definitely have mid-range
the
chips.
ability to maintain and make those a different story.
Sure,
but they do have access to that. But then, long story short,
I think maybe it's more the sweeping generalizations.
Yes, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Peter, it seems like he's pretty spot on about a lot of things.
Sure.
We'd love to have him on the show.
Yeah.
So if anyone has contact, please facilitate that. But basically, people were asking us to talk about the chip thing. Biden administration has announced further limits on #China's firms and ability to access foreign U.S.-dominated semiconductor technology.
Yes.
In the description right now, there's a great write-up that somebody did on Reddit about the whole chip ban. We will be covering this in detail next week as this unfolds. And right now, it's looking like a massive blow to the Chinese government right now.
Yeah.
In a very positive one at that.
Yeah, it's positive as in it's going to force the correct kind of change.
Yes. So we're going to be covering that next week. I just wanted, if you guys wanted to catch up on it, someone did a great write-up, so it's in the description. You can keep going.
Cool. All right. So what do we have after?
This would be a 10-hour show otherwise.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to cover this in detail. Let me just rip through it. So,
okay. This is the satellite thing, right?
Yes. So The Economist did a great study.
Okay.
Almost a
what? Oh, almost a
great
study.
Right.
And it was it's based on this idea that if you look at, it sounds crazy until you think about it. if you look at satellite imagery
At night, right?
at night of lights on versus off, right?
Yeah.
You can see the economic output of a country. And while that might sound crazy, with satellite data, it's so in depth now that you can see if there's factories running or people's houses are on or power plants are up or down. And you can kind of, with enough data, you can generalize what the economic output of a nation could be.
Well, look, a good example. We've all seen that image from space of North and South Korea. And you see North Korea is just completely black with like 1 or 2 lights in Pyongyang.
Yes.
But if you look at South Korea, it's all lit up like a Christmas tree. And that just proves to you that there's economy and that there's infrastructure.
But I want people to understand that beyond that, you can get down to really nitty gritty detail based on that stuff. It's not just like, oh, this neighborhood has 6 lights on. It's like, no, this area is, based on economic data, is serving an area while manufacturing paper. And it's on this amount of hours per day, and this is what their claimed output is, right? There's a lot that goes into this. It's not just like, hey, are the lights on? Right?
Yeah.
Now, looking at this data, what they realized and compiled was a fascinating thing. And they looked at free countries, partly free countries, and then not free countries.
Yes.
And what they wanted to measure was what the economic output, what the GDP really, of a country is that's free versus what they report.
Yeah.
Right. So you look at a country. A good example there is the United States. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The United States says we make so and so amount of output, our economy, and what's the reality? The reality is exactly the same.
Yeah, it's the
right?
same.
They don't have any incentive to lie.
Yeah.
There's transparency. There's checks and balances. There's a reason that democratic countries tend to report what they actually do.
Yeah, there's checks and balances and audits,
Audits, right? So you're looking at countries. You had Greece, you have Japan, Britain, United States, or Australia, South Korea. They're all pretty much close, or at least almost the same
as what they claim.
They're reporting.
Yeah.
Or claiming, right? That's a good point. Partly free countries then took a wild step. You had countries that would say that their output is wildly higher than what they're actually outputting.
Yeah.
So you have countries here like Colombia, Nigeria, Philippines, Bangladesh, India. These are countries that are somewhat free, somewhat democratic.
Yes.
They're outputting not even close to as much as they're claiming.
Yeah, so that's true. So most of them are claiming that their GDP is much higher than what it is.
Right.
According to the data from the satellites.
Probably for propaganda purposes.
Yes.
Right. Or for access to markets saying, oh, wow, they're doing really well. Let's love to invest in that country.
Yeah. Mm.
Then you have dictatorships, and you just pull us out of there.
Yeah.
You have countries that are not free, right? That are on the lower end.
Libya, Kazakhstan, Turkey,
Thailand, Turkey, Rwanda, China, right?
Ethiopia.
You look
Zimbabwe.
at them, and this is where it gets crazy because some of these are going to be minor economies that don't have much global impact, but China is the second biggest economy in the world, so they matter.
Yes.
Do you remember when we've told you guys 1 billion times that China tends to lie about things?
Especially the GDP numbers.
Especially GDP numbers, COVID numbers, whatever you want to pull out.
Yeah.
Any statistic China lies about for their own benefit. Right?
Correct.
Yet people take them at face value.
Yeah.
And they listen to them and they make adjustments and investments based on what they say.
Sure.
Look at China.
Yeah, it's big.
China's claim versus reality based on this subject is so damning, it's insane.
Yes.
It's absolutely outlandish.
Yes.
They're claiming, I guess it was like what does it say? Autocratic countries reported a GDP growth of 147% on average. Satellite imagery suggests that the figures are 79%. Mm-hmm. We're talking about double.
Yeah.
You're claiming double your economic output.
Yeah, I can't remember what the number was, but it was a very high number, like 7 trillion or something.
I linked it.
Yeah. The link's below in the description.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you can go look, but it's just fascinating to see that, again, this proves that the numbers coming out of China can never be trusted. COVID death numbers absolutely cannot be trusted. No. GDP cannot be trusted. No. Anything that they say, their statistics are just
a lie.
BS.
I mean, the whole country operates like that domestically. So how do you think it's going to be internationally to attract investment?
It's even worse. Now, kind of on the same topic,
we're
just going to briefly cover this because we are running out of time, guys. Yeah. We need to answer all your questions. But the BBC just released a very good article where they went in depth on these Syrian refugees.
Yeah, check it out.
What they're doing is they're begging on TikTok.
Send me gift. Send me gift. Send me yes. Send me yes. For a life. For a life. For a life.
There's a new trend on TikTok.
So it's kind of a crappy thing. It's very heart-wrenching. It's a terrible situation. But, the refugees that are in camps and in tents, they beg on TikTok for people to send them likes and gifts. The gist of it is that ByteDance, the TikTok company, the Chinese company that owns it, actually takes 70% of the donations.
Yes.
70%.
The Chinese company in China takes 70%.
So China is profiting off of the misery of these Syrian refugees.
Yes.
The Chinese company, And it's awful. We've got a link in the description, right?
Yeah.
Please check it out later if you haven't.
It's a great video, but it'll make you sad.
Yeah, but it is a very good video. And they actually tested it because, people were like, that's nonsense. And ByteDance said, no, we don't do that. But then they actually tested it with multiple accounts in different countries and all sorts of things. And they sent donations, and it was 70% pretty much across the board that ByteDance takes of the donations. Yeah, for this kind of thing. So go check it out. It's very, very important for you to look at that, I think.
That's enough.
Yeah. What? Oh, do we have anything more? We got a couple of things before we hit
we can do in Yamcha.
Before
Yamcha.
Just before we hit Yamcha. Sure. Guys, we know these shows tend to be kind of long. And those of you watching it, we absolutely love you, and we're happy that you're along for the ride, and we wouldn't have it any other way. But for those of you who maybe missed out on a segment or you're looking for a specific part of the show, that's what China Fact Chasers is all about. It's our other channel where you can get a daily dose. We have a daily topic gets released there, which is taken out of the main show. It's kind of like Eclipse channel, but it's not because
re-edited.
They are edited. Extra B-roll is added, so there's extra value. Context and stuff. And then you get a daily little clip, and it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be more. It depends on the topic, obviously. But feel free to go over and subscribe if you haven't already. We'd appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
And one thing that I'd like to also say is I'm very happy and very proud to have been on the Jordan Harbinger Show, which is a podcast, one of the biggest podcasts in the world.
A friend of the channel as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Good friend of ours.
He's an excellent...
Not just a friend of the channel, a personal friend of ours.
Yeah, and he's an excellent host. He's very intelligent, and he knows how to hold a conversation properly. And it's quite rare to have somebody who can host a podcast, ask the right questions, and keep it going in the right direction.
The best in the business for that. He's had such amazing guests on.
Yeah.
And it was super cool to be on there.
Yeah, I think he had Bill Nye just before me.
Just before you, yeah.
Yeah, who did he have just before you?
Shaq, I think.
Shaq or something. He's got big name people on there. And we had a conversation about the pig butchering scam. And him and I went in depth into it, the psychology behind it, and also, a lot of the different aspects of these scams. And I'd love for you guys to listen. It's an audio podcast. Link is below, so you can listen on Spotify or iTunes or whatever. You can figure it out. But
when you're done with that episode, you can go listen to mine.
Yeah, and C-Milk had 2 episodes actually.
Well, yeah, it was the same topic,
it was a two-parter.
Yeah, that was 643. It was the episode. It was the Chinese social credit system.
Yeah,
both links are below.
So you can find the links down below. So I guess now that we've finished plugging all our other stuff, it's time for us to hit the Q&A, guys. This is the section of the show, Yamcha, where we sit and answer your super chats and just have a relax and shoot the breeze, and I get to loosen my tie finally. And we keep it up for the weekend, and on Monday we cut it out of the show. So if you're watching now, you get to see it. If you watch on the weekend, you see it. And if you want to see it after Monday, if you're a patron of any level, you get to see it because we upload it for you guys. So for those of you who are not sticking around, stay awesome, and we'll see you next time. But for everyone else, let's get stuck in.